to the living room raceway for TOGE Event 3. This is knockout event for a grid spot in the ROC. 8 drivers will compete in a TOGE format over 2 laps. It's a busy day, so let's get started. Heat 1, Kasia S in the Honda Civic Type R versus Marshall Teague in the Houston Hornet.
This should be an interesting race given the age difference between the cars. Cash gets power down, Teague's all crossed up. Kasia powers through turn 1, pulling a healthy lead. She handbrakes it and stares down Teague through 2. She's got a massive lead over Teague, and it's curtains for the Hudson Hornet. They swap lanes for run 2, giving Teague the inside advantage, and again, Teague gets a horrible start. He fights with the car through 1, but he's fallen so far back. Kasia drives away from him. It's a good looking car, the Hornet, but it's no match for Kasia's Honda, and she goes through to the semis.
Heat 2, Hurst in the 68 Dodge Dart versus Flippin' Phil in the Plymouth Roadrunner.
Hurst gets the inside line for lap 1, but watch the launch from Phil's Plymouth. He noses up, he gets a lead for turn 1, powers through turn 1 and gives it a shot on nos. He's not under any pressure through 2, and both get squiggled on the exit, but Hurst needs to fight harder than that if he wants to get to the semis. Let's look at that wheelie in slow motion from the Plymouth.
That's a crazy angle. That's why they call it Flippin' Phil.
Phil has given the advantage back to Hurst. Guess that shows his confidence. Again, the nose of that Plymouth lifts and goes.
Hurst stacks it. What happened there?
Phil backs it down. He just needs to finish now, and he's through to the semis. He's still struggling for grip out of 2. He needs to watch it. We do see cars roll over there frequently. He crosses the line and will face Kasia in the semis. But what happened to Hurst? Hopefully we'll see a replay.
He turns in early and clips the curb. Then he's just a passenger. He moves the wall and crashes out. Heat 3, the Sheep in the Lambo Collado versus the Duke Boys in the Plymouth Barracuda General Lee.
The Duke Boys line up with the Plymouth in place of their usual Dodge Charger. It's running a very narrow track. Blocks go down and something's broke. The back end jumps up and they slowly to round turn 1. They've got little to no drive. They get through 2 but grind to a halt with the finish line in sight. The Sheep goes through to the semis and the Dukes go home. It looked like the leaf spring sheared a bolt and the rear axle just tore away from the chassis. That's going to be an expensive fix.
Heat 4, Seb Cattell in the Ferrari F430 versus Carol Shelby in the Ford Mustang.
Shelby has the advantage for turn 1, but he's against a tuned supercar. They get away and it's even into turn 1. Cattell falls back, down the hill. Shelby goes too deep into 2 and Cattell is right there. They touch and Shelby spins. Cattell goes through but picks up a contact penalty. He will now have to beat Shelby by over 20 frames to go through. Yes, you can lean on a car, but ramming is a no-no. Cattell gets the inside. He did contest a penalty, but it stood as the telemetry showed no lift off from the throttle as Shelby spun. They're side by side, but Cattell goes through. He understeers into the curb and struggles a bit, but manages to get loose. Has he done enough? Yes, he has. He qualifies to the semis with a 1 frame advantage. He'll face off against the Sheik for a spot in the final. That is the tightest race we've seen so far.
Semi-final 1, Flippin' Phil versus Kasia S.
So, Kasia the Warrior Princess versus Flippin' Phil for a spot in the final. Phil gets away early, but Kasia sends it into 1 and sides through the inside. They bang wheels into 2 and Phil backs out of it, knowing full well that he struggles on the exit. Kasia leads by 15 frames. It's not over yet. She will be on the outside for lap 2. This is why she has the nickname Warrior Princess. She sees a gap and just sticks the car in it. She's aggressive with a cool head and focuses on that inside line, and it's paid off. Can she do it again? Phil is very quick off the line again. Kasia catches him through 1, looks high, looks low, gets a wheel over the curb and loses speed. She finishes 22 frames behind. That means she's 7 frames behind and out the event, and that's a shame because she is the only girl in this event. Here's a replay. Phil gets loose into 1 and Kasia gets the run on him. She looks high but Phil covers off.
Semi-final 2, the Sheik versus Seb Cattell.
The supercar showdown, and the Sheik has the inside line. Cattell will have to work hard here. It's even into 1, no ground's given. The Sheik spins, Cattell backs out of it. Sheik has the lead, does a J-turn, stops before the finish line. Cattell has nowhere to go, he won't get a penalty, but it's first over the line, not to or on the line. So Cattell makes contact and then the Sheik crosses the line. Well, that's a bit of a struggle look for Cattell. He has the inside advantage for lap 2. He wriggles through for the lead out of 1 and simply puts his foot down to increase the gap. The Sheik bins it and pretty much hands the win to Cattell.
The final, Flippin' Phil versus Seb Cattell.
So here we are, the winner at the end of lap 2 goes into the Race of Champions. Phil sends it, but Cattell pulls it back through 1 and bump drafts Phil all the way through 2. Phil's lost it and rolls, he slides across the line. I don't think Cattell had anything to do with that, but let's see the replay. Seb is right there through 2, but we have seen Phil struggle on the exit, and that's the question. Seb is backing away by the time Phil's rolling. Seb is actually slowing down with him, but keeping back, not to get a penalty. Clever driving. So Seb is on the back foot, Phil is the faster car off the line and has the inside advantage and is the lead car by 11 frames. Seb needs a big run here if he's to get that slot in the ROC. Phil hooks up and goes, Seb trails, Phil's flipped, he's on his roof, he's sliding. Cattell launches it down the hill and that's a big wreck for Phil. Cattell is the last man standing, he will get that ROC grid slot, but what happened to Phil?
He clips in the inside curve, as you saw with Hurst. You either go in the wall or on your roof.
Luckily, Cattell is high and finds a way around and gets clean air under all 4 tyres. But just look at that Plymouth slide. They should call that the Plymouth Road Rubber. And look at Petty, he must be thinking time to park somewhere else. Wow, half a lap on your roof, that's got to be a record. But today's winner is Sebastian Cattell in the F430 Challenge Stradale.
He has the 3rd grid spot in the upcoming ROC race. He'll face off against Luigi Giuseppe in the Porsche, Rich Petty in the Superbird, and one more driver who will be named in the next TOGE event. I hope you'll join us for that one.
I've been Dad.
I've been Hoglet.
And we'll see you next time in the British Toy Car Championship.